But it's all about the budget. So let's continue that discussion with Mr. Keshav Bhajanka. He's, of course, the Executive Director at Century Plyboards India, joining us on the show. Hi, good to be speaking with you, Keshav. Just wanted to begin by asking you, it's of course a statement of account. It's not a full-fledged budget, but you can't write it off purely because it's ahead of the elections. Do you expect some sort of major push to come to spur the consumption in the country?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I think that, when it comes to any budget, whether it's an interim budget or the full budget, the intent is what is very important. And I think that this budget, because the government has been giving balanced budgets right throughout. So yes, there might be some attempt to spur consumption and it might be a slightly populist budget, but I don't think the government is going to change, to a large extent, the policies that they have taken and the focus on long-term growth that they have taken.
Keshav, I want to understand from you, because we are gathering from our sources that the government may tweak the slabs of income tax once again. Basically, the idea is that to put some more money in the hands of the common man. So I want to understand, because your category, the category you're operating in actually is also sensitive to that. Once people have more discretionary income, they'll end up mostly using it for home improvement. Of course, that has been a trend post-COVID, I would say. The focus is back on the home. Do you expect some tweaks around that, and would that help discretionary income, of course, home improvement as a category as well?
I think more income in the hands of customers is always going to benefit companies such as ourselves. But to take it a step further, you see, real estate is the second largest generator of employment in the country after agriculture. I mean, real estate and ancillary businesses. Now, in real estate itself, the cost of housing has shot up substantially. As you know, there's been a lot of inflationary pressure on raw materials. So I'm hoping that the government takes a step in the form of the income tax exemption quantum for home loan interest rate payments. If that takes place, it will further spur customers to or people to spend more on real estate, and it will help in keeping the momentum that is built in the sector strong going forward.
Real estate is one sector which is expected to see a lot of push in the policy, and the interesting bit is that this time it might be for the urban poor, which is of course the category that you cater to the most in terms of the urban part of the market, that is. But Keshav, one problem that the industry has been facing is a lot of competition from imported products as well, right? Do you expect something on that respect, some sort of parity to emerge so that it's lucrative for you as well as an industry?
I think that, in terms of imports, the important thing, because we have to be competitive, as long as, it is not inferior quality products that are feeding into the market. We are a very efficient country. We have efficient manufacturing capacities, so we can compete. But I think one step the government has taken, particularly in our sector, which is the implementation of BIS across product categories, that in itself is going to aid us a lot.
Keshav, you spoke about real estate. Last week actually there were 3 brokerages. I mean, we were observing, and Anisha and I have been talking about it ever since, which are saying that we are in the mid-cycle in real estate now. I want to understand it from you, because previously we've seen very longish kind of real estate cycles. Last 2-3 years, maybe it's because the stock market has started pricing in a lot too early, but do you think we are in early stage of an upward real estate cycle, mid, or of course not late stage, but between early and mid, where are we right now?
I think typically, you look at a 6 to 7 year cycle in real estate. And as you very correctly pointed out, last 2-3 years have been very good. But I think that this cycle is going to be a slight bit of an exception. Because, if you look at the growth of any economy between 3 to 10 trillion, real estate plays a key role. The same thing happened in China, the same thing happened in the US, if we could look back historically. And as we are on that trajectory, I think the cycle for real estate this time is going to be far more long-term. I think we are still at the early stage, but this is conjecture.
Keshav, on that note, we let you go. Appreciate you joining us, and we'll of course speak with you if and when there are those big announcements which are made in the budget as well. Thanks so much for your time.